back once again with the Maesters Secret guide. Account progression through blue diamond spending for PostT4 accounts is pretty self-explanatory, though I will mention that since you are a PostT4 account, I'm going to assume a basic understanding, or at least a basic understanding of the game, the options available, and what they entail. So I'm not going to go through and explain in detail each of these things, more so how they directly relate to blue diamond spending and the reward you get from them. So there's a couple of prefaces to go through. Progression definition, for me it's all about stats. Regardless of the type of castle you're building, the style of play you go with, there's not really going to be any major difference to the need for stats. So there's different options for achieving those stats, but it all comes back to that at the end of the day. So analytic preface, it's all based on my own personal experience, my own personal discussions with others, and my views on each of these things. There's very little information from the game about exact chance when it comes to RNG. So I have tried to provide best case and worst case scenarios where possible, but if not possible, I've definitely gone with worst case. Spending preface, as always, if you're a spender, depending on the level of spending, some of these things won't be suited to you. But I'm assuming that, if you know what you've spent on, you know what you're planning to spend on, and so you'll be able to make your own mind up. So for part one, we're looking at dragon skills. Obviously for spenders, as said, if you've purchased a reasonable number of red skills through the Battle of Long Night, stuff like that, then this one's probably not going to be for you. And it can be a longer term or shorter term investment plan for everybody else. You may still need to pick up a couple, even if you are a spender. So it's something that can still be looked at. For everyone else, it really comes down to how quickly you want to push it, and whether you want to push it first or before other things. So we've got a couple of different options for investment. The main defining factor as to how quickly you'll get these things done is how many advanced skill raffle tokens you have. You've got two options for picking them up. One, directly through the raffle shop, and two, through the VIP shop. There is a couple of free methods for getting them, which we'll take a look at. But basically, just showing up one of the pay-to-win skills there. So I've grabbed Legion Building as a bit of a rally leader. Obviously, that will severely outclass even the red health skills. And the red health skills is probably the main objective when it comes to investment in dragon skills, but you can also look at raising skills. So the difference between even like a level 8 that I've got shown up here and a level 9 is about 3% for the infantry attack. But more so than that, you pick up the attack reversal at level 9, which is a pretty big boost because it's a two-way swing. You're basically stealing attack from the enemy and giving it to yourself. So between the attack reversal and the standard attack for the rally increase, you can pick up about 84% on infantry attack or cavalry attack, whichever attack you're talking about. So it's not a bad option to get them up as quickly as possible. I've been a bit slack on doing so, and that's partially because the red skills do take so much investment to raise. So just popping a couple of freebies. The standard draws will only ever give you standard skills. You can buy more of those with gold. So that's just a standard option that you should be doing each day. Max out your gold purchases to keep those skills progressing. As said, you want to be raising them as much as possible, so that always helps. So the advanced skill token that I've just popped here gives you fragments. So depending on what red skill is up at the time, it'll give you a fragment based on that. They rotate about every 2 weeks, I think. So you'll probably want to plan ahead and try and save accordingly to do the skill that you're going to want to achieve. No sense in burning through all your advanced if it's not for a skill that you want. So this is the skill raffle, or the raffle shop rather. Advanced skill raffles, you can pick up 30 a day for 500 diamonds. And the other option is in the VIP shop. So we'll just head over there now. Basically, I think it's 5 a day. 5 a day at $2.50 a piece, so a 50% discount. And this is where the length of time comes in. If you just want to pick up 5 a day and slowly save up for milestones, there's nothing wrong with that, particularly because in, say, the elite trials, you can pick up 50 each time. You're eventually going to be able to save enough without a significant investment. And so that really comes down to how quickly you want to push it. So the table I had up before does have the slower and faster options calculated, but it all comes down to collecting those raffles and hitting the milestones. So you can see here on the right, chests awarded based on milestones achieved. So you want to save, ideally at least 500. If you hit that, then you're going to get the most return possible. It's great to hit higher than that, but I think myself personally, I don't want to save for 1,200, particularly because I've found that most of the time I could achieve it for about 900. Now that's probably a little optimistic. It's probably somewhere in between, but that's the two options I've used for calculation. So my most accurate, or for myself personally, 900 has been more accurate. For many others I've talked to, including many alliance members, 1,200 has been closer to the truth. So for me, the 500, which gives you about 50, by the time you get the 50 and the 500 milestone reward, is really the best option. It gives a good return and it doesn't leave you saving for months and months on end. In saying that, if you are buying 30 a day or 35 a day, then it really doesn't take so long to build up 500 even. Now, you do want to keep in mind, as I said, that it'll depend on what raffle or what skill is in the raffle at the time. So you've got time between, since they cycle through the same each time, you don't have to rush too much. You've got about 16 weeks between, I think. But just to recap, you've got your couple of options for picking them up. You're going to pick up stats from that. Depending on whether you want to go fast or cheap, which is slower, you get a different return. But overall, I don't think there's something that's worth pushing that much. Looking at the troop type health, for example, the cost per percentage can be anywhere from between about 26,000 to 66,000 diamonds. So it's a reasonable amount of investment for a percentage of health. And sure, you're going to pick up, significantly more than that, but the total cost as well, it's a fairly big range, but anywhere from between 225 to about 557. So it's quite substantial. Now, from there, you're going to make your own mind up on that. But we'll talk about a couple of different things in part 2, one of which being badges and the other being awakening in part 3. Both of those are probably better options than dragon skills, but I don't think that dragon skills should be ignored either. Even if you want to slowly invest, as said, with the 5 a day at the reduced rate, it's not going to hurt your progression in other ways, and it is going to slowly build up to a point where you can get those fragments. And if you get lucky, you can get it sooner than that anyway, because when you do the advanced raffle tokens, there is always a chance that you'll get the whole skill just outright. So while it's not the most common thing, I know quite a lot of people that have picked up whole fragments. One of my alliance members has picked up nearly 5 of them now. And yeah, he does the draws regularly, but not any more than most people, I think. So it does happen. Sometimes you get lucky with it, and it's always a help when you do. But if not, you can kind of plan around about that. Say 900 to 1,200, and based on your own decision with speed, anywhere from between 225 to about 557,000 blue diamonds. Alright guys, hopefully that's given you some idea of what you're in for if you are aiming for dragon skills. We'll check back again next time for a look at badges.